Hi guys, this is Bonnie Gayle, and I am coming to you from a new location today. I just made a temporary move yesterday. So I'm literally like in the middle of the mountains in Malibu and coming to you live. And today, what I'm going to be talking about are money mistakes, and how, number one, the past mistakes that you've made don't need to affect you for the rest of your life. That's really super important to know. They don't determine your future, and what's actually been blocking you and stopping you from being successful with money, making and keeping more money, and what you can do to change it. So here's the good news. The good news is everything is possible. Everything's possible. And I know that because my dog is digging right now. He's like digging for gold. And it's so funny and it's just crazy to watch, but it's hysterical. So the reason that I say that your past mistakes don't need to determine your future is because of me, myself, and I. So I've made every single kind of money mistake that you could ever make, no matter what anybody says. I have lost tons of money. I have blocked myself from making money. I have stopped myself from earning more money. I have blocked opportunities from coming to me. I have lost money on many occasions. I've lost everything that I've made at times. And literally, it wasn't until I started looking at what was really going on inside of me, like those things that were really causing me to have these feelings around money that I didn't realize that I had. Once I realized what was really going on and I did the work to change it, everything shifted for me. And I say that because I'm somebody who has I deal with money all the time. I'm an accountant in business. So I'm working with clients on being more efficient with what they spend so that they manage their money better, and being aware of like what they're earning their money from so that they can spend money on things that make them grow and maintain their business. And they end up keeping more of the money they make, right? But here's the thing, when you have money blocks, which is the issue that we all have, that literally block us and stop us from making and keeping money, then until we have the awareness that we even have these money blocks, they literally stop us and block us from making and keeping money. And it can get super frustrating because you can try doing everything different and nothing works. You can feel like, you got trainings that people helped you, that you did everything differently, that you did it perfectly, and why didn't it work out for you? It's not that you didn't do it perfectly, it's that you literally, inside of you, were not open to receive. That's the biggest issue. You weren't open to receive the money that you really, really wanted because you had these underlying messages inside of you that were literally blocking you, and you didn't even know it. And the reason for that is because these messages are subconscious. And basically, what happens in our lives is that our subconscious controls us 95%. And in order to supersede your subconscious, you might have to go through a lot of stuff sometimes if you just try, superseding it on your own. And the thing is that because you don't have the mindset to be able to understand what's really going on, it's almost literally impossible to supersede the messages. So the subconscious wins. You end up doing the same thing you've done every single time, and nothing ever changes. Sound familiar? It did for me for a long, long time, literally 55 years of my life. And I'm not kidding. And I started working at the age of 9. I started earning money at a really young age. In fact, I was an entrepreneur at the age of 9. I did not work for my family. I worked for other people, earning money, and I scheduled my own jobs. And I literally learned how to make money on my own. Nobody in my family, my parents were not entrepreneurs. My grandparents were entrepreneurs, but by the time I was born, they were retired. So really, I didn't get any messages around being an entrepreneur or really managing money well that worked for me. The messages that I got were, we're not credit cards. There's never enough to go around. You know, you need to save, but you need to scrimp to save. So I had all of these like very small-minded, what I call small-minded and limiting beliefs around money. You know, there's never enough for me. There's never enough to go around for everybody, which just isn't true. It's not true. There is money around. It's a matter of whether you're open to receiving it, right? So the things that stop you and block you from making and keeping money are called money blocks. And we get money blocks from three different places. So the first place that we get money blocks from is we inherit them. So what I call the family shit. So the family shit is like, if you think about all of the trauma and drama that your ancestors went through in their lifetimes, and they may have gone through World War I, World War II, different kinds of wars, famine, slavery, hardship, you know, family members could have died walking home in the snow from work. You know, all of these kinds of things could have happened in your family, which literally all of these emotions got then passed down to you through your genealogy and through no fault of your own, with nothing you had any control over and something that you couldn't do anything about at the time. So you were literally born with them, right? So then on top of being born with this, you know, this mindset, you're now growing up and you're listening to your parents, right, who have these limited beliefs around money and making money and earning money and saving money and keeping money. And they're programming you with these messages by repeating them to you over and over again. You know, and then you go to school and you might hear some negativity from your teacher, like maybe you're not good with numbers, maybe you weren't good in your math class. And so, you know, your teacher told you that numbers weren't your thing. Okay, there you go, creating more money blocks. So now you think you're not good with numbers and therefore you're not good with money. That's not necessarily true, but it's now a limiting belief that you actually have, or what I call a money block, right? And then there are, you know, and you can get these messages from anyone. That's the truth. And once you have these messages in your body, here's the thing, then your mind, or, you know, sometimes people call it like the negative Nelly or the negative mindset that you have, like where every time you think about something, all of a sudden like these negative beliefs come up and like flood your brain, or negative thoughts, and you're like, oh my God, well, I'm not going to go there. Well, of course you're not going to go there, because your subconscious is going to supersede you so that you don't do things differently. Because if you do things differently, God forbid, some kind of change happens, right? Which could be good for you, but it's not good for your body because it's the unknown, and your body doesn't want you to go into the unknown. So it's going to keep you safe and protected where you're at. And that's the truth. It keeps you where you're at. So if you want to change that, then you have to do something differently, right? And doing something differently upsets the apple cart. And when you upset the apple cart, sometimes you can have some things that happen that you're just kind of like, oh my God, like what happened here? And I'm going to give you an example of that. So I was in a coaching program in 2013. And at the time, I owned two businesses. I owned my financial business and another business, a product business that I have, that I put about $250,000 into initially. And my business partner did not put any of the money in, but she formulated the initial product. And as after she formulated the product, I found that the product wasn't working exactly as I wanted it to, and that there were some things that needed to be fixed with the product. So I kept asking her to fix them and asking her to fix them, and they weren't getting fixed. They weren't getting fixed. And finally, when I was in this coaching program, which was like now a few years later, maybe a year later, okay, all of the sudden everything kind of came to a head. When I was in the coaching program, like listening to the verbiage of what they were saying, and I was like, oh my God, how am I going to get my business partner on board with all this? Well, what I realized is my business partner wasn't going to be on board with this. So she had a mindset of here, and my mindset was here. And those mindsets were not going to meet in the middle. So what ended up happening is she ended up telling me that instead of moving forward in business together, that I had a choice to make, and I had like a week to make this choice, you know. And literally she threatened me, telling me that, I could either buy her out for $250,000, which was not going to happen, or I could pay her triple the price for the existing product, which I wasn't even happy with to begin with. So I wasn't going to do that. Or I could close the company. So you can imagine that I might have gone into a tailspin over that, right? And I physically did. Once we got off that phone call, my body started shaking like this. Literally, I'm not joking. You would have thought that I had Parkinson's disease. And I literally was like slithering on the floor to get to the bathroom that night. I literally could not even stand up and walk. My body went ballistic, and I mean ballistic. And it was going to fight me to the bitter end, right? And I went through every challenge that my body gave me. And when I woke up the next morning on the floor, I had stopped shaking. And all of a sudden, these messages started flooding my brain of all these things that my business partner did in the 3 years that we were together, that literally were sabotaging our business from day one. And I quickly got a paper. I started writing, you know, literally, I was like frantically writing all this stuff down, and ended up putting an email together to my business partner that literally changed the trajectory of what happened to me in business. And not only did I get a full and complete release from her legally within one day of writing that email, I did not have to pay her a penny for anything. And I actually, she was trying to get some money out of me for something that she said that she didn't let me know about 3 years earlier. And I was like, that's not going to happen either. So here's the thing. When you're willing to do the work and go through whatever it takes, literally think everything shifts. And everything did shift for me that day. So it really is important that you stay true to yourself and you don't allow your money blocks to take over and literally stop you and blocking you from making and keeping money, because those are the money mistakes. The money mistakes are continuing to do the same thing over and over and then expecting a different result, right? So you can stop making mistakes and start taking action to do things differently so that you can make and keep more money. So, what do you need to do differently? Number one, you need to work on clearing money blocks. And there are a couple of ways that you can do it. You can try doing it on your own, by doing some writing and using some positive mindset work. I've just found that for a lot of people, like they can't keep up with it and they can't keep doing it on their own. So it gets to be really challenging. But there is a way to do that. It's called release writing, you know. And so I tell people all the time that when you open up to release and you write, that you can literally change those things that are blocking you and stopping you from making and keeping money. You just need to be diligent at doing it, right? Now, if that's not something that you're interested in, there is a money mindset meditation called Money Vision Quest. That is an amazing way to work on releasing money blocks, because it actually does a lot of the work for you behind the scenes, working on both your conscious and your subconscious while you are awake or asleep. So if you want to know more about that, you can check that out at moneyvisionquest.com, because that really works. But to me, the way that I think that the best way to clear out money blocks is to work on the conscious and the subconscious with meditation simultaneously with actually taking physical actions that actually allow you to understand what those money blocks are, and what the actual messages are, like those specific messages that are literally driving you and guiding you in the actions that you're not taking or the actions that you are taking. So, like, what I mean by that is the actions that you're not taking might be managing your money, right? The actions that you might be taking are being out of control with money. So you want to shift those things around so that you're taking positive actions, not negative actions around money, so that you change the trajectory of what happens to you with money. So all of these things are possible. And one of the ways that they are possible is with collaboration. And the reason that I say that is because when you work in a group and you understand that, number one, I'm not alone. That's a huge one. I remember for me, like, having the realization, like, oh my God, I'm not alone in this. This is something that so many people have. And as I started talking to people about it and realizing how unalone I really was and how really this is something that everybody has, I was like blown away, blown away. And the thing is, it was like, and it didn't really matter necessarily exactly, who had which message as to which person made or lost more money, because all of that negative thinking really kind of affected people, whether it affected them with making money, saving money, or managing money, but all of these things affect the trajectory of the rest of your life. And not only your life, but think about your children, right? Because you got passed, down a lot of these messages yourself. And so if you don't clean up this stuff and you have kids, guess what you've done with your kids? You've passed this stuff down to your kids. And what about if they have kids? Now this stuff has gotten passed down to your grandkids. And here's the thing, you can stop it by breaking the cycle. And so once you break the cycle, you actually do something for not only benefiting you, but you benefit your entire lineage all the way down. Because here's the thing, all of this stuff comes out in our words. And when people have money blocks, they speak a certain way. And a lot of the wording that they use seem to be negative or limited, or talking about the things that they can't do, or they shouldn't do, or that they're not enough, or they're not worthy enough, or not valuable enough. And sometimes it's not even them. Sometimes it might be like the work that they do, or the things that they teach, or, whatever, or the products that they sell. They might not see the value in those things because they literally have such money blocks that they can't even get past their own stuff. So you can understand and you could see how, having money blocks can really block you and stop you from making and keeping money. And not only that, it can affect your whole family. What if you are in a relationship that's not working out and you're not the breadwinner? Don't you think that you might be stuck in that relationship if you don't have any of your own money? And what about if you have kids, and that it's going to be like a battle to separate from your partner, or, it'll be a battle with, who's going to have custody of the kids. And that could end up financially draining you like no other. So it's not only financial costs, like, because here's the thing, money blocks cost you financially. If you think about it, it costs you in interest. It costs you in having to take loans that you wouldn't have to take. It costs you in having to pay late payments sometimes. It could cost your credit. It could cost your health. Like if you have stress and overwhelm, or you're anxious, or have a lot of anxiety all the time, you can imagine that that could affect your health, right? So that can end up costing you financially in medical bills because maybe now you need to be on medication to deal with some of these things. It is, I'm telling you, like, if you really think about it, it's really a never-ending battle. So the best thing you can do is literally deal with it. And here's the thing, it doesn't have to be painful to deal with. That's the whole point. Is like, you know, we have a course called Upping Your Money Mindset Game. And so many people in the course, as they were listening to other people, were learning like, oh my God, number one, I'm not alone. Number two, so many people have these same beliefs. And when we annihilate these beliefs, things are possible that we never even could imagine. I mean, can you imagine when you've never earned, let's say you've never earned more than $40,000 in a whole year, okay? And I'm talking about money, just money that you brought in. I'm not talking about profit. I'm talking about money that you actually bring into your business. Let's say 40,000 is the biggest amount you've ever brought in. And then all of a sudden you take this 6 weeks course and you manifest $30,000 in 6 weeks. That's fabulous, right? That's crazy. And you're like, oh my God, how did that happen? It happened because you changed your mindset. Or if you had this job, right, that you were stuck in, like somebody that was in our last round, she was in this job, she was totally stuck in it, she was going to quit. And when she was in the course, I said to her, I said, you know what? I want you to just go through this course and stay working for the company while you're in this course. And then at the end of the course, if you decide you want to quit, you can quit. And she said, okay, I'm going to commit to do that. And you know what ended up happening? This was the greatest thing ever. While we were in the course, her company approached her. She was the only one in the company that this happened to. And they literally offered her an amount of money to leave, a severance package. And it was like it was like a very sizable severance package. And she was blown away. And had she quit when we started the course, and literally, I feel like this was like maybe 3 weeks into the course, right? So literally, because she waited that 3 weeks and didn't jump to just quit, she ended up drawing in all this money that she never would have got otherwise. And that money set her up for many, many months to not only build her business, but be able to live without having to worry about money at all. And she was just like, oh my God, I'm blown away. So these are the kinds of things that are really possible when you clean up your money stuff. I have another person that was in there and literally was like going through cleaning up debt as if she had been somebody who'd paid down her debt her whole life and never had any. And this is debt that she was holding on to for years. Okay. So money blocks show up in a variety of different ways. They can show up with not being able to earn the kind of money that you want to earn. They can show up where you do earn money that you're happy with, and as soon as you earn it, you blow it all. I know that was my biggest issue. It wasn't necessarily earning the money, it was being able to build it after I saved it. So once I would invest it, it would be lost. So that my money blocks were around losing money once you have it, right? So money blocks affect people in different ways. Another way that you could be affected by money blocks is debt is out of control, right? And you just can't seem to pay it down, or you just seem to get in trouble with money all the time. And if you have those things, it is not impossible to clear it up. It is actually simple to do, but it's not necessarily what I call easy. So now I want to give you like the ultimate solution to clearing money blocks. So the ultimate solution to clearing money blocks is you go to moneyvisionquest.com/class. What you would pay in the regular pricing for Money Vision Quest and Upping Your Money Mindset Game. So this is to literally get in the course for 6 weeks so that in 6 weeks you can start making more money, managing your money better, and start paying off debt and have massive breakthroughs that are so exciting and so fun. And not only that, you have a whole team of people in there cheering you on, which is awesome. So remember, moneyvisionquest.com/class. And then you get into Upping Your Money Mindset Game, which is the 6 week course that is live and interactive on Zoom with me, where I literally coach you through your money blocks so that you have completely different perspectives and you start shifting those beliefs, those negative and limiting beliefs, into positive, confident, wisdom beliefs that you can do anything and everything is possible. Upping Your Money Mindset Game, and Money Vision Quest all in one at moneyvisionquest.com/class at the rate of you can start making and keeping more money immediately so that you can stop allowing your money blocks to control your life and the life of your children and all of the people that you influence. And you never know, you may even end up shifting the trajectory of your friends' lives because once they see what happens to you, they might want in on the action, right? And look, when you're a positive influence and something great happens, isn't it something that you get excited about? I know I do. Because listen, when I shifted my money blocks out at the end of last year, I went into 2020 with a clean slate. And literally in 6 months, my business was up 38% from last year in 6 months. Not today, but in 6 months. And I saved $50,000 for the first time in my life. You can imagine how happy I was. So I really believe in this stuff because it really works. And I know that so many of you try, and you try so hard and you do so many things differently, expecting a different result, and that result doesn't happen. It can be so frustrating. I know because I've been there and done that. I've cried so many nights. I've prayed. I've like gotten on my knees and done everything to try and make things happen differently with money, and it just doesn't work. So don't forget to sign up now. Go to moneyvisionquest.com/class, Upping Your Money Mindset Game and Money Vision Quest together. Don't forget moneyvisionquest.com/class to get in on the action. I hope that, this was something that was helpful. I know that, like, for me, this has been an amazing journey. Clearing money blocks can be super stressful. It's something that I wasn't able to do by myself, but with the help of other people, it was a breeze and it was so simple and easy to do. And if you feel that you need that help, don't forget moneyvisionquest.com/class. This is the last time we will be selling this course along with Money Vision Quest at this price. And next round, it's going to be double at least. So I hope that you get in on the action while you can afford it and you don't have to feel like, oh my God, I missed out, because it doesn't have to be that way. All righty. So, thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you in the course.